May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be now and ever acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Our reading is the few verses before the verse we've chosen for the creative zone. And this is Deutero-Isaiah, this is second Isaiah, writing at about the time of the Babylonian exile, so about the same time as we were looking at the reading last week from Jeremiah. And this is what Isaiah records as the Lord's words to the nation. But as for you, Israel, my servant, Jacob, my chosen one, descended from Abraham, my friend, I have called you back from the ends of the earth, saying, you are my servant. For I have chosen you and will not throw you away. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, and I will help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. As I said, this was written at the time of the Babylonian exile. This is the southern kingdom, Judah. Remember, the kingdom split. Israel, the northern kingdom, had already been conquered by Assyria, and now Judah has fallen to Babylon. And they are in a dire situation. And there are a lot of reasons why they were in the mess they were in. But they had never stopped worshipping Yahweh. The northern kingdom didn't have Jerusalem anymore, so they set up shrines and they continued to remember the Exodus. They continued to worship by sacrifice. And Jerusalem remained active, that the temple was still in use, right up to the time when the Babylonians sacked it. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that their faith, their practices had been diluted. What I mean by that was that they had moved into a place where there was already that was a dreadful bit of grammar, where there were already people worshipping gods. And there was perhaps a tiny part of their mind that wondered whether the God who could defeat Egypt and bring them through the desert was actually the God they needed when they were in an agricultural setting. After all, the people they'd moved in were successful, their crops grew, they got harvests. Maybe it wasn't such a bad idea to do a belt and braces thing here. And, maybe just, pay attention to the gods with a little g that are already there. But the problem was then compounded because right from the beginning, the king of the United Kingdom, not this United Kingdom, that United Kingdom, Saul and David, and then the kings of Judah and Israel made alliances with powerful nations round about. And one of the ways of cementing those relationships was to marry a princess from the royal house from there. And then you had to extend her every courtesy, which meant that she could bring with her household gods. She could bring with her priests and priestesses. She could bring with her the practices. And to be quite honest, some of the practices for Baal worship and Asherah worship were an awful lot more interesting than what went on in the temple, if you know what I mean. And so the faith and the religion of Israel and of Judah, the whole Jewish nation, became watered down. And I wonder whether that is a problem that we face today as well. Not Baal and Asherah, they're long consigned to history. But whether sometimes we do think, or we can think, I need to do this. This is my financial problem. I need to sort it. This is my problem with addiction to the internet. I need to sort it. And whether sometimes we think that the God who is good at love and at relationships and at salvation actually isn't the God I need for my everyday life. But as for you, says God, I have called you back. In here, the promise that God is making is that it doesn't matter how far away we stray or how many times we try and sort things out on our own. The God who loves us is faithful. No matter how faithless we are, he is there, waiting, watching with open arms, because he has promised that he has chosen us. We stand in the heritage of Abraham. We are the new Israel. We have been adopted and grafted in to the family of God, says Paul. So we stand in this tradition. I have called you back, not have called, keep on calling you back from the ends of the earth. You're mine. I have chosen you, and I will not throw you away. Sometimes in our lives we do feel as though God's a long way away, don't we? We feel as though we're on the edge of an abyss and that there is no help. Don't be afraid, says God. I'm with you. And there are times when all the plans we've made, all the things we want to do, all the hopes and dreams we had seem to be vanishing away like the mist in the morning. Don't be discouraged, says God. I am your God. I am with you. And there are going to be times when we feel weak and powerless, where we feel things are out of control, not just personally, but when we look at the world around us and we think, this is an absolute mess. There is no hope. I will strengthen you, says God. I will help you. What we have to remember, no matter what's going on around us, the end has already been decided. God is victorious. He was on the cross. He was in creation. He will be to the end of time itself. His is the victorious right hand. It doesn't belong to anyone else. I know that some people here today are feeling in a dark place. But we've just celebrated that Jesus is the light of the world. He will and can shine that light into your life. He can show you things that you never imagined were possible. He can bring you into a place of joy, even in the midst of tears and anxiety. God has chosen you, and you, and you, and you, and them, and me. He loves each one of us with an incredible love that will not let us go. So as we step into a new year, And as we begin a series on the promises of God, let's hold to this promise. As for you, you are my chosen one, a descendant of Abraham, my friend. I've called you back from the ends of the earth, and you are mine. I have chosen you, and I will not throw you away. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged. Don't give up hope, for I am your God. When you're weak, I will strengthen you. When you're confused, I will help you. And I will hold you up, for mine is the victorious right hand. And to him be all the glory. Amen.